What is up, guys? Sunspot here, bringing you a review of the 1985, what am I, some kind of dumbass, 1994, nope, not 1994, 1985, I am on so much drugs right now, of the 1985 Godzilla by NECA, and by far my favorite. So jumping right in, we're gonna start with the head sculpt, which is, the most important part of any Godzilla figure. And I mean, every Godzilla movie, had that one feature, which is the head, that just really stood out. And every time Godzilla fought, that's the one thing you look forward to, the facial animation, whether he'll roar, and then it basically looks retarded, and which is why it's my favorite, okay? And everybody knows, and if you're a Godzilla fan, the 1985 Godzilla is very unique. I think you can already, you know, tell why. But anyways, they did a really good job adapting it from the movie. I was afraid that when they first announced this figure that, NECA, their paint can go all over the place, and they've had a few trouble in the past with the eyes, and I was afraid that the most important part of the figure, which is the eyes, they're humongous, were going to get messed up. The paint was going to go everywhere, or maybe they weren't going to, the eyebrows that you could see right here weren't going to be as, down, I guess, and because they're supposed to tilt down so that he could have this angry look, and, my worries are over. They did a good job with that. I'm glad with that, and you could just tell that all around the head, it's just really nicely sculpted. The scales and everything up here, I'm trying to make it focus better. Focus, you son of a bitch. I like it. I like it. And if you can open his mouth, you could tell that there's this black crease that runs down the middle of the tongue. It's realistic. I'm not saying Godzilla's real, but if he was real, he would have that. And the teeth are not like this solid white. It's more of this yellow, brownish type of color mixed with the white, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't. And that's one of the things I like about the figure itself. They don't use a solid color for everything. It's more of a solid color mixed with this metallics and this shiny coat, I guess. And I think that's what makes it shine. I made a pun and whatnot. And for the body, it's the same for the paint. And it's not only the scales that they did the shiny thing to. It's actually these guys right here. What I guess they're spikes. Not on the white parts, but you could tell that in these gray parts right here, it's not focusing because my camera's a piece of shit. That it's has that same paint application, which I didn't actually suspect. I didn't think NECA would work too hard on that, but you just giving you a 360 of the figure. It's just really good. It's like the actual costume. This is as far as as close as we'll get to getting a Hot Toys Godzilla, which if they would make, I would get it. I'm trying to make it focus again. Sorry, but yeah, the arms and everything. It's like, I like these fat folds on the arms. I think that's absolutely hilarious. It's for both arms. They're actually sculpted differently. Here it's 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer. Here it's the same. It's 3 layers, only they're different sizes, so it's not lazy and my camera isn't focusing. There we go. Probably because of the comic books in the background. And Godzilla looks like he's pregnant in this, actually. Whoop! And in the legs, he has that same fat fold mold. It rhymes and whatnot. So it has certain layers. Again, they're... Actually, no, these are the same. Or are they? I don't know. I'm not good with fat folds. But just moving down, he has some cankles and whatnot. That's why it's a little difficult to move his feet, which is cool for me. My camera won't effing focus. Thank you so much. And the tail, like, every Godzilla figure that NECA's made so far, I think this is their 4th, if you're counting the big 2014 one, has a really flexible tail, and I'll get into that later for the articulation, but you could see they didn't get too lazy here. My camera isn't focusing. There we go. So, yeah, I like the tail.
I love the tail.
as for articulation, Godzilla has a fair amount. I'd say he has less than the previous ones just because he's a little chunkier. But starting from the head, and his head can move. God damn it, focus, you piece of shit. Can move up and down, left to right, as well as rotate. I think he can go 360 degrees. I'm not going to test that. He also has this extra neck articulation, so he can go side to side, up and down. He can actually 360 at the neck, moving down his arms. Can go, focus, 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 focus. Can go side to side, up and down, and can rotate 360 degrees. He can almost bend 90 degrees at the elbow, and his wrist does rotate 360 degrees, as well as, swivel or whatever. His waist can rotate 300, just good, can rotate 360 degrees. His legs can, I guess I can rotate 360 degrees if this thing would fucking piece of shit. Focus. God, Godzilla's fat. He has barely any articulation at the knee because look at the size of this thing, and for the feet, they could just rotate 360 as well as kind of pivot side to side and up and down and everything. You could figure it out. I mean, you could pose this guy in a million different ways, honestly. Now, if you've watched my previous reviews, you will learn that Godzilla figures by NECA are all about the tail, and I wish this thing would focus. God damn it, Mysterio. But, you can tell he has just a ton of articulation, move 360 here, left and right, up and down, and just give you summarization. Gotta hate that word. Just focus, you son of a bitch! And, he could just... There's a little rubber part right here that starts from about here, so you can make it even more flexible. You could really position this in any way you want. It's not focusing. I'm going to cut somebody so deep. As you can see, Godzilla is about the same height as his predecessor, the 2014 Godzilla. I guess if you maybe just rotate his legs a bit higher, I guess he could be a bit taller, but I don't think anybody's, or at least not me, going to do that. And he is about 1.5 inches more than the average size of a McFarlane figure. So, overall, I really like this figure. I think he's my favorite from the Godzilla series that NECA has been providing. I don't know, maybe that'll change with whatever's coming next. I don't know, but the 1985 movie remains my second favorite because the 1954 one is a classic. But if you are a Godzilla fan and you love the 1985 film and you want a Godzilla that looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I highly recommend this. You can find this at Toys R Us or online or whatever you guys go to. He's not as common as the 2014 or the 94 Godzilla, so that's just a heads up. I'm not sure why, but you'll find him eventually. So this was Sunspot, and for my review for the NECA 1985 Godzilla, I will see you guys in my next video, whatever that will be. So, yeah, see ya.